G'day Gear Junkies, Jason here. A couple of months ago I did a video about the Pastfx 80A Flanger, which was their take on the famous 80A Flanger. Now that particular pedal used a very rare 512 stage Bucket Brigade device. And because of its scarcity, it meant that those pedals can only be made in fairly small quantities, and that also pushes the price up as well. Fortunately, Pastfx were able to take the same circuit and fit it with an MN3007 chip, which is much more readily available, which means that these can be made in larger numbers, and they're also significantly cheaper. So now we have the Pastfx 8080 MN3007 version. Other than using a different chip, this has the same components as the original version, plus the addition of a bass cut switch here, which I'll talk about in a minute. It's still capable of doing all of the classic flanger sounds that you would expect an 80A style flanger to do. So I'm not going to go into too much detail about the functionality of this pedal because I already covered that in my previous video about the 80A Flanger, which you can check out just here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through some really cool sounds that you're able to get out of this particular model. Here's my clean sound. I'm playing my PRS Custom 24 because I can't put this guitar down at the moment, and I'm running through my Fender Deluxe Reverb. So it's completely clean. So I especially love flanger on clean guitar. It helps to give your clean sound a bit of movement. For this, I just turn the enhance up to about 11 to 12 o'clock. I don't like too much of that enhance on a clean sound. I especially love flanger with a bit of delay, so I'm going to switch it over to the blue harmonics mode, which is going to hollow out the sound a little bit, and I'm just going to pair it with a Boss digital delay. This works really great with doing volume swells with delay as well. If you take the enhance here and you turn it all the way down, you've effectively got a chorus pedal, which is why if I have to choose between having a chorus or a flanger on my board, I always choose a flanger because it can do both. As I said earlier, flangers are great for creating a bit of movement in your sound, and this works just as well with drive. So I'm going to use the Pastfx camber drive. Now, I absolutely love this pedal. It has not left my board since I got it 2 years ago. It may as well be welded to my board. It sounds great, especially through a clean style Fender amplifier, which I'm using. Now, I'm going to play an example from a really well-known song that uses flanger in a rhythmic context. Here's the camber drive. just classic rock in a box. So if I'm still using my drive sound and I want to play something a little bit melodic, I just take that enhance and just back it off a little bit so that it doesn't get too in the way of my melodic playing. I find that I prefer it in the red mode when using it with drive. Now, one addition this pedal has that the previous version didn't have is the bass cut switch here. Now, this only affects the feedback or the enhance. So what happens with a flanger is it takes part of the signal and feeds it back into itself, and that's what gives it that swooshing sound that a chorus pedal doesn't have. Now, because it's effectively doubling the signal, it can get a bit thick down low. All this does is it just rolls off a bit of the bottom end from the feedback or from the enhance only. So it's a really welcome addition. I think that really helps to clean it up, and I use it pretty much most of the time while I've been using this pedal. So here's the pedal without the bass cut. Yeah, it just takes away a bit of the extra thickness that's probably not needed. One of the things unique to the 80A flanger, and I really loved on the Pastfx 80A flanger, was the threshold control, which this also has. So with it all the way up, it basically is inactive. But when you start to wind it down, it becomes like a volume controlled envelope, meaning if you play softly, you don't really get the effect. But when you dig in, the effect will come in. And then when it reaches a certain volume, it will drop out again. So there's all sorts of interesting possibilities you can use that for. Here's how the threshold control works. At the moment, it's all the way up, which means that that control is inactive. So as soon as it dips in volume, the effect cuts off. And so you can use this for all sorts of really fun applications. So I'd like to thank Verily of Pastfx for sending this out. Pastfx have been a massive supporter of this channel, not only sending me out some of their products to demo, but also sending me out some of the gear from their collection to make some of my other videos with. So thank you so much. And if you want to find out more information about this pedal, I'll leave a link to the Pastfx website in the description below. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Remember, you can join the Middle Aged Gear Junkie Facebook page by clicking on a link in the description. And you can also support this channel by buying some merchandise from the Middle Aged Gear Junkie store. Other than that, my name is Jason. Have a great day. See you later.